The first seller walked into the shop with an iron helmet he found at an estate sale.
I'm by far no expert on these, but it looks like the craftsmanship of the time from the 6th, 7th, 8th century, you know?
Chumley explained that helmets like this could date back over 1,000 years and were worn by groups like the Anglo-Saxons and Vikings.
I think this is made out of iron. If you're getting an arrow shot at your head, I'd rather have this than a piece of wood there, right?
Yeah.
The seller wanted $750 for the helmet, but Chumley said he didn't know much about it, though if it was real, it could be worth thousands.
What you've got appears to be an authentic Anglo-Saxon helmet, but to find one in this condition, you just don't find them.
The expert explained that iron usually doesn't survive for 1,500 years unless it's preserved in water or a low-oxygen environment.
What do you got to do to test it out and make sure it's real?
This little gun will shoot a little beam of X-ray into it. If everything goes right, the XRF is going to show me the metals it's made out of.
The test showed the helmet was made of carbon steel, just like 1,500 years ago, and the expert confirmed it was real.
And the most important question, what's it worth?
A lot. $15,000.
$15,000.
$15,000.
Negotiations began with Chumley offering $7,500, but the seller said it was 1 in a million and asked for $15,000.
I'm not going to be able to pay you $15,000 for it. You got to give me some room in here.
How about 11,000?
95.
$10,000?
For $10,000, you have a deal.
$10,000?
I have what I'm hoping is a very, very old, very rare coin. I figured I'd come in and see if it's worth what I think it's worth, which is a substantial amount.
The seller said he received the coin in a will from a family member who had bought it at auction 3 decades earlier.
It's a little weird. I can guarantee you it's from the Eastern Mediterranean. There's literally hundreds, if not over 1,000 coins like this. They're all from different city-states, different countries, Egypt, Greece, Sicily.
Rick explained that large coins like this were incredibly rare because most were melted down when cities were conquered. So, if it were genuine, it could be extremely valuable.
How much do you want for it?
20 grand.
You know, my big concerns is like, it's in really good shape. Generally, when it's too good to be true, there's a chance this could be real, but I'm assuming it's fake.
Rick explained that coins from that period were struck by hand with long hammers, often leaving them off-center and uneven. Its flawless condition raised doubts, so he brought in an expert to examine it.
So is it real?
If it's real, it's worth a pretty penny. Okay, I have news. It's absolutely genuine.
After confirming the coin's authenticity, the expert estimated its value at around $50,000.
I'll give you 35 grand for it, which is more than you were looking to get for earlier.
But then I'm leaving like that.
You're not leaving anything on the table. You know who's going to buy it for more?
Not personally, but
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 40 grand.
40,000 is fair.
Okay.
The next seller walked in with a coin that immediately caught Rick's attention.
Got a 1922 proof high-relief matte finish coin. I won it at a poker game, believe it or not.
This is like one of the holy grails of American coins.
Rick explained that the high-relief design created production issues, resulting in most of the coins being melted down. For years, collectors didn't even know the coins existed, making surviving examples extremely rare.
How much do you want for it?
20,000.
What, you want 20 for it? 20,000?
It's worth
Yeah,
it.
sure, no problem, let's go. No, this is worth a lot more than 20 grand. Do you mind if I call a friend to take a look at this?
Rick said the coin was one of the rarest and worth far more than the seller's asking price, so he called in an expert for more details.
This was the coin the government minted, but no one knew they minted it for like 15 or 20 years.
That's correct. None of these had transacted until 1937.
The expert confirmed the coin was perfectly legitimate and one of only a few in existence, making it extremely rare.
What's it worth?
One of these sold very recently that brought a touch over 100,000. I think this coin is worth something north of 50, but less than 100.
Rick opened with an offer of $65,000, but the seller countered at $90,000.
I think 75 is fair.
Meet me in the middle at 80.
It's a deal.
All right.
So what do we got here?
This is my 1602 Shipwreck Dutch East India Company bell.
The seller explained that she had purchased it years ago in Indonesia from a small shop and needed to sell it because it was taking up too much space.
I just love old shipwreck items. You can just imagine the journey they've been on. Not to mention they can be big money and very easy to sell.
The old man said he doubted it had been in salt water since its shape would be more damaged.
How much you pay for it?
Well, $700.
It's Indonesia, it's the Orient, where they fake everything from Rolexes to antique bells. They fake toothpaste, for the love of God.
Since Rick had doubts it might be fake, he called a shipwreck artifact expert.
I don't think this thing was in salt water for any period of time to mount to anything.
Well, you're right. 90% of all shipwrecks are in shallow water. In fact, most of them are sticking up. They hit the reef and they pretty much stay there.
After examining it, the expert confirmed the bell was real, and based on wear and corrosion, he dated it to around 1760.
I think this could be put into one of the treasure auction catalogs, and they'd probably go somewhere $15,000, give or take.
After hearing the expert's appraisal, the seller raised her asking price to $11,000, but the old man lowballed it at $3,000.
I don't think you'll take 3, will you?
Yeah.
I'll just be realistic with you. I will pay you $7,000 cash.
85.
No. I would go like $7,000.
8,000?
I'll go like 7,200.
It doesn't fit in my place anymore, and I want it to go to somebody who really wants it.
Deal?
Deal.
$1,000.
How bad? I got something with George Washington's face on it, and all I can really tell you from George Washington, the man had wooden teeth.
Rick quickly noticed one important detail. It wasn't actually a coin. There was no denomination on it, which meant it was likely a medal instead.
This is some kind of Masonic something. It was a secret fraternal organization that had all these rites and rituals and all this weird stuff. Benjamin Franklin was a Freemason, George Washington was, just about all the founding fathers.
Rick explained that the medal had several unusual symbols on it, including the all-seeing eye, similar to the one on the dollar bill, as well as the square and compass, and a number of other symbols that he hadn't even seen before.
How much do you want for it?
I'm looking for $5,000.
Perfectly honest, I don't know if it's worth $5 or $50,000. If you don't mind hanging out, I'll get a buddy down here. Maybe he can decode this thing.
The expert immediately identified the piece as a George Washington Masonic medal, one of the earliest examples of its kind, and only about 20 of these medals are known to exist today.
That is a George Washington Masonic medal, and literally there are more than 10,000 different types of Masonic pennies. This is like the one that started everything.
After examining it closely, the expert confirmed that it was authentic, and because of its rarity and strong connection to early American history, he estimated its value at around $40,000 or even more.
You still want $5,000?
No.
I'll give you 20 grand for it.
Kind of lowball number.
Would you take like 21?
Nah.
I'd go like 23.
Nah, I'd probably take my show on the road, because they say good things come to those who wait.
Okay.
I got a coin that I've had since I was a kid.
Okay.
Trying to see what it's worth.
The next seller came in with a commemorative coin made to honor George Washington's funeral.
Where in the world did you get this?
I was a kid, I used to collect coins, and my dad took me down to one of the shows in New York City and picked that up.
The seller explained that he'd owned it for over 30 years and was hoping to get a couple of $100s for it.
Washington's death had a huge impact on this country, and even throughout the world, people paid their respects. In fact, Napoleon ordered 10 days of mourning throughout France.
The old man wasn't convinced it was from the 1700s. He thought it looked too clean and possibly too modern, so Rick decided to call in an expert to be sure.
This is what's called a George Washington funeral medal. You notice there's a small hole here, Rick?
Yeah.
It was made to have a hole because people would then put a string or a ribbon through it and then wear it.
After examining it closely, the expert confirmed that although it looked new, it was genuine and in excellent condition.
What is it worth?
In this quality, I think that I would put an estimate range of somewhere in the $4,000 to $5,000 category.
That's awesome.
The seller was surprised by the appraisal, so he increased his asking price to $4,000, which the old man declined, countering with $2,000.
$2,000, and I think that's a fair price.
About $2,500.
How about 15?
God, I love you, Dad.
Of course you do. Everybody does.
$2,500 is a fair price.
Thanks.
Okay.
The next seller walked into the pawn shop carrying an old combat knuckle knife from the World War II era.
So tell me where you got it.
It was my great-grandfather's. My dad said my great-grandpa, he massacred about 3,000 people with that knife.
I got a feeling that story's not really true.
Probably not, but, you know.
Corey explained that the weapon was basically designed to be the ultimate backup weapon for close combat. He pointed out that the brass knuckle design allowed soldiers to punch and stab with the same weapon during hand-to-hand fights.
So how much are you looking to get out of it?
500.
I mean, it is pretty cool. I mean, but they're not that uncommon. I mean, look, I've got one right here. You know, they still make them today. So if you don't mind, if you want to hang out for a little bit, no guarantees, but I could have my antique military weapons expert, Alex, come by and take a look.
The expert quickly confirmed that the knife was a real World War II era knuckle knife. He explained that during the war, countless small makers across America produced handmade fighting knives for soldiers preparing to go overseas. Since standard military knives often weren't ideal for close combat, many soldiers sought out custom-made blades like this one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The first 50 to 75, and no one knows for sure, had 9 points. If it's 8 points, its second model, not as desirable as the first. So this is one of the most rare and collectible fighting knives in existence.
The expert explained that many collectors go their entire lives without ever coming across one of these knives in person. Because this example was both rare and exceptionally well preserved, he believed it carried a much higher value than expected and estimated it could sell for roughly $10,000, if not more, at the right auction.
So I'll do $5,000.
Can we do 7,000?
Nope.
No.
No, not a shot. You came in here looking for $500, you're getting 5,000.
All right, 5,000.
Sounds good. All right.
The next seller walked into the pawn shop carrying an old gold coin that she had received as a tip during a poker game.
You got here a 1907 St. Gaudens $20 gold piece. That's the nicest $20 tip I ever seen anyone get.
I think he might have lost a hand with it, so it might not have been as lucky for him anymore.
Rick said that many people consider the St. Gaudens coin one of the most beautiful coins ever produced in American history. He went on to explain that President Theodore Roosevelt wanted American coins to look more artistic and impressive, so he hired famous sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens to redesign the nation's currency.
But people noticed there wasn't something on this coin. In God We Trust wasn't there. Teddy Roosevelt's thinking was religion should not be on our coinage. There was a massive public uproar. This was 1907 America, where probably 90% of those people in this country went to church every Sunday. Congress passed a law. Almost immediately, they restored the motto on the back of this coin.
The seller was asking $1,000 for the coin, but Rick explained that the gold content alone was already worth nearly $1,900. However, he knew the coin's true value depended heavily on its condition, so he decided to bring in a professional coin expert.
Now, these coins were minted in Philadelphia, and they only minted 361,000 of these coins. And we speculate there's about 50,000 that are still left in existence that were uncirculated.
The expert explained that in 1933, the U.S. government made it illegal for Americans to own gold. Because of that, many people secretly hid their gold coins inside walls and floorboards to avoid surrendering them to the government. And he believed this coin was likely one of those hidden pieces.
This coin has never been circulated.
So what do you think it's worth?
A similar coin to this, an MS-68, just sold at auction for $218,000.
Oh, wow.
However, the expert said this coin would likely only grade MS-63, meaning its value is around $4,000.
How much would you take for it?
Could you do 38?
I'll tell you what, I'll cut through all the BS. And I'll give you $3,000.
All right.
What do we got here?
Hi. We have a guitar.
Obviously.
It is a DJ Ashburn guitar.
Owned by DJ Ashburn?
I think so. I mean, it's got his name over here, so I hope so.
The seller explained that her boyfriend was building a children's hospital, which is why she had been collecting donated items to help raise money for the cause.
Pretty cool. So do you know anything about the history of it or anything like that?
I don't. I'm a GNR fan, but that's about it. People have been giving me items because we're trying to raise money for the Children's Hospital here in Vegas.
Okay.
Looking over the guitar, Rick could immediately tell it wasn't a standard Gibson Les Paul. He explained that it was something from Gibson's custom shop, noting that the paint scheme, controls, and switches were all customized differently from a normal production model.
How much you want for it?
At least $5,000.
Okay, it's a Les Paul, so I mean, it's a lot of money. But if this is really his, it could be worth something. Okay.
Okay, great.
And I know a guy who will know all those.
Amazing.
Rick said he knew a guy who could tell if the guitar really belonged to DJ Ashba or not, but when the expert walked into the pawn shop, it turned out to be DJ Ashba himself.
Do you recognize this? Was this like a limited edition?
I could recognize this guitar a mile away. This right here is the Holy Grail.
According to DJ, the guitar was incredibly rare because it was the prototype used before Gibson created 100 production models. He emphasized that this specific guitar was completely unique, saying there was only one like it in the world.
So you played this one on stage and everything else like that?
Yeah, I abused it. There's even still probably beer stains and stuff on it.
DJ said he would love to have the guitar back, so Rick asked if it could fetch around $20,000 to $30,000. Ashba replied, easily, adding that it shouldn't be sold for anything less.
So I think I got a perfect solution for this. I'll give you 20 grand, the kids at the hospital get the money, and I'll end up making a deal with him. I won't make no money off him, and everybody's happy.
You got yourself a deal. That sounds great.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it could be like a really old and hopefully really expensive coin.
Rick noticed the names Resolution and Adventure on the coin, identifying them as the ships commanded by Captain James Cook during his second voyage from 1772 to 1775.
Captain Cook worked his way in the annals of history to be one of the greatest ship captains ever. This is the guy who discovered Hawaii. The maps he made of Newfoundland in the 1750s were so good, they were still using them in the 20th century.
Rick said that if the coin is genuinely from the 1700s, it would be the most finely detailed example he has ever seen from that era.
How much you want for it?
I'd be thrilled with 50 or 100 bucks.
Can you wait around so I can get someone to look at it?
Okay, I definitely have the time, so thanks.
The expert confirmed it was a genuine Resolution and Adventure medal from Cook's second voyage, and around 2,000 were made, personally carried by Cook to give as gifts to island leaders.
To hear Dave say this is from the 1700s is amazing. But the fact that this was actually in Captain Cook's hand, it's a real piece of history from one of the greatest explorers that ever lived.
The expert said its excellent condition and historical significance put its auction value at $7,500 to $8,500.
I feel like I should ask for what it's worth. So $7,500?
I'm gonna give you $5,000 for it. You know why I'm gonna give you $5,000 for it?
Why?
Because you owe it to me. Remember, an hour ago, you wanted $50 for it. You just owe it to me because I just made you all this money.
Fair enough.
On $1,500.
Yeah, let's do 700.
I have this signed picture.
Benjamin Harrison. Hey, Corey. It's like your great-great-uncle twice removed from your second cousin.
Do you really believe we're actually related to that guy?
Grandpa says we were.
I've met your grandfather, and he was a liar.
Rick explained that Benjamin Harrison helped pass the Sherman Antitrust Act, one of America's first major laws against monopolies. He added that while Harrison got the ball rolling, it was Theodore Roosevelt who really cracked down on the trusts years later.
You know your grandfather's middle name is Benjamin, and your great-grandfather's middle name was Benjamin. They were named after him, I believe.
Whatever.
You see any resemblance?
I do.
Yeah, he's bald and he's got a gray beard.
The seller said the photograph had been in her family for about 70 years and was originally part of a photo album. Rick recognized it as a cabinet card, explaining that these photographs were hugely popular from the late 1860s through the turn of the century, and many families displayed portraits of presidents in their homes.
How much do you want for it?
$500.
I doubt if that's a signature. I'm just assuming it's someone just wrote it on there so they know who it was. I'll call somebody down here, but if it's not a signature, it's worth like $10.
The expert said cabinet cards were fairly common, so the photograph alone wasn't the key to its value. What really mattered was the signature. To determine if it was genuine, he first needed to confirm that it had actually been signed in ink.
So I'm just going to look through here. Yes, and it does appear to be signed in ink. It's not a printed on signature. Now, the second question is it actually the signature of President Benjamin Harrison?
The expert compared the signature to verified examples of Benjamin Harrison's handwriting and was convinced it was the real thing. He estimated the signed cabinet card would retail for about $1,250.
So $500, no problem.
Can you go a little bit higher?
I give you like $700 for it. That's the best I could do on it.
Could you do 8?
You just wanted 5.
Could you do $750?
Yeah, I'll give you the $750.
It's a deal.